All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between TeRRoR versus Ze1ko. This game taking place on Amazonia. No observers, so I'm turning off Fog of War as Ze1ko has spawned as the teal or aqua human over here on the bottom left-hand side of Amazonia. Meanwhile, over here on the top right, we have TeRRoR spawning as the blue undead. Well, it's blue versus aqua. At least the map is not some sort of ice map, making it difficult to spot everything. And well, also I am being forced to use TeRRoR's point of view since there are no observers. If only there was a way to create proper observer editions of WarCraft 3 in this day and age. And actually, that might actually be one reason to use reforged graphics. If I actually had proper observer tools and they were only available in Warcraft 3 in the reforged graphics. Another thing I'll say, I mentioned this. One thing I realized is when I'm watching Reforged on Twitch, because of the higher level of detail, whenever you move the camera, it goes fuzzy. And then it's able to catch up. Maybe it has to do with the bit rate and you know the frames per second and all of that. But I find that watching casts using original classic graphics doesn't have that same fuzzy. It looks like it goes from like 1080p to 480 back up to 1080 again. Whenever I'm watching Reforged graphics. And the reason why I mention this is that for me is a legitimate reason to, as a caster, why I want to show classic graphics, as it is a better viewing experience for my audience. I don't know if that is there. Hey Crota, I'm new on Twitch, but watching you for years. The question is, as if I have a casting schedule. My casting schedule is pretty much I have 1 hour a day, normally before the rest of the house wakes up. I am a father of 3, and well, I get 1 hour to cast from replays. So that is that. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down into the matchup now. For anyone who wants to see my casting schedule, it's pretty much Monday to Friday, 6:30 to 7:30 Pacific time is my normal casting time. Archmage now shows up and is at level 2, has Brilliance Aura, +5 intelligence between the Mantle of Intelligence and, well, that Circlet of Nobility, adding in a little bit of bonus damage and mana regeneration and maximum mana overall. Meanwhile, off on the other side here, Skeletal Minion's going to finish off that Forest Troll Trapper as TeRRoR moving out across the map only with a Cloak of Shadows. We should be looking at a tech to tier 2 and now the transitioning into Crypt Fiends as the Death Knight wants to use his time wisely with just some simple harassment. We see the Death Knight off over here. He's just, Cloak of Shadows hiding. It doesn't look like he's hiding, but he in fact is, and that's the reason why he was right there as he's still taking a little bit of damage. And there he goes, tries to hide once more and then breaks free as the Death Knight once again is on the move. Yeah, and Cloak of Shadows being able to hide yourself in the middle of the day. This could be scary. If you get to surround here, there is a reveal possible from that Goblin Laboratory as the Death Knight trying to make its way back. First Crypt Fiend out onto the battlefield should be able to cause some harassment, and all really the Death Knight wants to do is try and stop any sort of militia clearing of this Goblin gold mine. Coming back around though, what he doesn't know, TeRRoR doesn't know that Ze1ko was actually going for a fast tech to tier 2. And with that fast tech to tier 2, there isn't going to be an expansion attempt. And we are also looking at a transition into Blacksmith. So it looks like it is going to be Rifle Casters, Priests with Riflemen, 1 single Arcane Sanctum as opposed to 2, as the Archmage looks to clear up the Forest Troll Berserker creep camp down here. Death Coil, able to get the last hot hit with that Skeletal Minion. That Skeletal Minion snuck on in there and being able to provide sight. And then the Death Coil was released. The entire human army stopped attacking, perhaps knowing that the Death Coil was coming, only to see that, well, there was that last hit from that Skeletal Minion. Very, very good micro right there as that Skeletal Minion down to 30 hit points. Is it going to get taken down? Yes, it does. Before the time life finishes, that +5 damage from the Archmage, giving it just the right amount. All right, so far Archmage sitting at level 2, almost at level 3. Kobolds now chasing after those units. Who's going to be able to get to level 3 first? That is the question. Most likely the Archmage, but it is getting denied. Level 2 water elementals would have a big impact on this battle, as the skeletal minion actually going to give level 3 now right there. That's what you don't want to see. I mentioned it in the last game. When you accidentally give an odd level to your opponent's hero with a summoned unit. Every bit of experience counts, every bit of experience matters, as that Archmage, well, being very careful to not overly cast these water elementals, trying to save it up for when he does need it at the right time. Alright, Kobolds continuing to fight. Crypt Fiend's going straight after that water elemental, pretty much taking it down instantaneously. Death Knight, however, doesn't get any experience, as the Kobolds got that last shot there. Death Coil finishing off that, well, Footman with long distance air mail. Death Coil getting that kill, as we are still seeing the Archmage and the Death Knight exchanging blows. Lich is now out onto the field here. You got to be careful. All of a sudden, what is a full and healthy, or fairly healthy hit point Footman could end up getting taken down very quick. One Frost Nova slowing it down, allowing 2 more shots from the Crypt Fiend, followed up with the Death Coil, can spell certain death. There you have it right there. All of a sudden, that Rifleman, is he going to be able to escape away? Down to 43 hit points, down to 20, down to 3, and there it goes, getting shut down right there. Stormbolt, however, the same effect coming in from Ze1ko. What is a full hit point Crypt Fiend all of a sudden can turn into a dead Crypt Fiend here in just a moment, as that last Stormbolt goes off. Water Elemental still dancing back around here. Crypt Fiend low on hit points, or sorry, Death Knight low on hit points. Stormbolt could go down, but nothing to really bolt down that Death Knight now. Alright, Skeletal Minions. Well, still providing a little bit of cover here. Death Knight is going to get a Death Coil. 2 Skeletal Minions, well, both taken down right there, giving a little bit more experience because of that infinite range early on. Ze1ko now going after the Kobold Taskmaster on his opponent's side of the map. Mountain King is right there, trying to act as a little bit of a barrier and a wall. Death Knight now being brought back over. There's a Stormbolt onto the Lich, but the mana from that Mountain King could have been better used, as that Rifleman gets, well, blasted in its tracks there. Obsidian Statue joining in on the fight, and the pacing of this game is pretty much textbook at this point. The appearance and the arrival of the Obsidian Statues, Death Knight, Lich, Mountain King, as the Lich escapes at 33 hit points. All right, a very, very touch-and-go escape right there. Footman, well, unable to cause the body block there. Water Elemental now getting taken down. And Ze1ko, with so much effort to try and focus down some low hit point units, actually losing some of his own units in the process. Skeletal Minion's going to cause a traffic jam here as the Mountain King has to break the chase. Lich back on Blight, healing. There should have been one Obsidian Statue staying nearby to provide cover for all of these units. Lich does have an Orb of Corruption. Death Knight needs a little bit of mana as well. Death Knight wants to get up to level 3, as we are looking at a low hit point Crypt Fiend. This Crypt Fiend should perhaps be backing up. There it goes, backing up right there. All right. Essence of Blight, Essence of Mana being provided to the Death Knight, and the Lich is gonna. Oh, is the Death Knight actually gonna get a Death Coil off onto some of these units? No, he is not. Lich gonna be able to get up to level 2, as the remainder of this creep camp will be cleared up here. As the Lich gets to level 2, will it be going for Dark Ritual or Frost Armor? That is the question. Mountain King has yet to choose a second ability, Bash or Thunderclap, as Ze1ko now, well, hoping to get to level 3 on this Mountain King. Clearing out the corners of the map again. Lich sitting at level 2. Obsidian Statues being brought over to provide a little bit more cover. Once more, one Sentry Ward, keeping track of the Rock Golems down across here. That will be important to note as well, as we see a Lightning Shield, well, dealing a little bit of damage to all of these units in the back. Renegade Wizard going to get taken out. Belt of Giant Strength, giving a little bit more health and vitality to that Lich. both sides actually creeping and rotating into different corners. Dark Ranger picked up by TeRRoR. Thank you for the follow, as units are still making their way through. It looks like TeRRoR has a slight creeping advantage going after his opponent's Rock Golem creep camp. We are looking at a Paladin third, so both sides using three heroes of their respective races, undead and human. Well, nope, human alliance, I guess. Lich now sitting at level 3. Level 2 Frost Nova coupled with level 2 Death Coil will spell instantaneous death for a lot of units here. And what is going on? Not finishing off the creep camp, instead heading off to the north. Archmage Illusion just pretty much being ignored right there. And, well, good play by TeRRoR, knowing to ignore that completely. Ze1ko on the flip side says, you know what, I do not want to get caught. And off on the side here, as we see a little bit of damage. All right, Death Coil onto that Dark Ranger. I'm going to call for it right there, saving that Dark Ranger from near death. Meanwhile, more damage coming back across as the Lich now going after that Paladin. Paladin could get Death Coiled, and saving the Crypt Fiend instead, as the Paladin down to 30 hit points, but still gets finished off. There goes the death of a Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend now trying to back away. Orb of Fire preventing much of the healing, as that Archmage is, well, making it difficult for that Death Knight to keep all of his units alive. There's a bit of Frost Nova as well. Death Knight gonna go after this Rifleman. Rifleman, one more shot should get finished off, and it still gets finished off there as the Skeletal Minions pop up to take its place. Alright, Water Elemental gonna get finished off there. Level 2 now on that Dark Ranger, and TeRRoR feels like he easily handled that battle there. The Paladin was easily taken down as well. Gonna get resurrected only at level 1, but really good pacing and control of this game, even though he is behind on level. The fact that Archmage did get up to level 4 means level 2 Brilliance Aura, which means more mana for all of the casters and the heroes, which can cause problems. Paladin is not that big of a threat until it gets to level 2, though. Once it has Divine Shield, it is much more difficult to take out. Rock Golem absorbing a lot of damage, or sorry, Skeletal Minions absorbing damage right there. Archmage shows up. That is just an illusion, and once it realizes that it's just an illusion, well, you know what? He's just going to continue to try and fight through here, using the illusion that Archmage as a scout for Ze1ko to, well, try and take on the Granite Golems on the far side of his own side of the map. Where is that Paladin, though? The Paladin really should be close by, trying to get to level 3. Getting up to level 4 on the Mountain King doesn't matter as much as getting to level 2 on this Paladin. Is this Paladin gonna perhaps now run on in and try to get all of this experience? Yes, he is. And this was actually a play by Ze1ko, purposely delaying the death of these golems so that the Paladin could get to level 2. Medallion of Courage come on, pick it up. There, no, Mountain King picked it up. All right, intelligence and strength on that Mountain King. 4 more hit points and more mana. Tome of Knowledge there as well, as we're looking at a bit of pressure being pushed on right here. Alright, Crypt Fiend taking a little bit of that damage. Skeletal Minions now sneaking their way inside, going after the Scout Farm here. We're looking at 49 supply compared to 46. TeRRoR has the much stronger army at this point. And this Arcane Tower is going to get taken out. This Obsidian Statue is going to end up being in trouble if it is exposed in the back, as we're still seeing more damage come back in through. Alright, big Frost Nova preventing any easy repairs, as a couple of those units are taken down. Destroyers up in the air. They're going to try and back away right now. Level 4 now on that Lich, as the Destroyers are nowhere near the main battle, going after buildings instead of dealing damage. Death Knight using a potion of invulnerability in the front lines, saving some of those units, as the Crypt Fiend is in the back as well. Alright, Priest and Rifleman getting taken down. Death Knight getting storm bolted. Now finally using the Scroll of Town Portal. We see some absorb or devour magic as an abomination falls. But, well, Disease Cloud being spread across all of these units, and a Dark Minion being left behind. After the Dark Ranger let a black arrow fly, then the unit ended up dying. Man, I didn't know that change. It was a decent change, though, but I don't know what you guys are talking about. But Well, if it was a decent change, it was a decent change. 31 supply going up against 52. Expansion coming in as well. 2 acolytes on that gold mine. Destroyer. Orb of Fire. Yeah. Orb of Fire. Archmage. It now has adds 7 bonus damage. And the hero's attack also become ranged. Also reduces regeneration and healing of effects by 35%. It was much more effective than the quote-unquote splash damage effect that the original Orb of Fire had, which really wasn't that effective there. Tome of Knowledge, still picked up by the Archmage and red. If Ze1ko wins this battle, and when Ze1ko wins this game, I will say it is because of that Tome of Knowledge. Read your books, folks. Read your books, Arya.
What? I've always been reading my books.
All right, Archmage rotating back. Archmage making its way back off to the north. The Mountain King does have Bash over Thunderclap, as we are looking at the Water Elemental just harassing off over here. This does force a fight closer to Blight, which is exactly what TeRRoR wants, as we're looking at what Destroyer's in position here. Stormbolt onto the Death Knight. Death Knight going to take a little bit of damage. Holy Light trying to save the Mountain King. Silence across the Archmage and the Paladin right there, as the Mountain King forced to use a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Death Knight dodges a Stormbolt right there with the Potion of Invulnerability himself. Now Death Coil Frost Nova onto the Archmage. Archmage says, or Ze1ko says GG, as that game comes to an end. Writing was on the wall. TeRRoR with the expansion knew that, or Ze1ko knew that TeRRoR with the expansion and the larger army, there was no way he was going to be able to get back into that game, and it was just going to be a long and painful death. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.